everyone, it's Lexi, and yeah, so in today's video I'll be sharing with you my least favorite books of 2016. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. The first book will have to be The Martian. I really loved the movie. I saw the movie before I read this book and I really liked it. I thought like it was really good, but then I was really excited to pick up the book and I was just really disappointed. I felt like a lot of parts in this book were just unnecessary, and I found the narrator to be very arrogant and I just did not enjoy it. Like, I was just like, I need to this book to be over, and it just dragged on and on and on and on. But yeah, I prefer the movie over the book like any day. Like, I love the movie, but I just did not like the book at all, which is actually surprising because I do have like the engineering background to understand what he's talking about. But it was just like, I don't know, I feel like the movie did a much better job of like making this novel actually enjoyable, and I don't know. Let me know what you think about it, because I know like a lot of people love this and I'm like one of the few who did not like it, so yeah. Next will be I Am the Messenger by Markus. Like, I was a big fan of The Book Thief. Like, that was one of my favorite books when I read it. So I was really excited to read his only other book that he has published, and it kind of follows a guy who gets he's kind of like a bum, doesn't really do anything with his life. He has no aspirations until one day he gets a letter in the mail with like a heart in it, and he has to like meet all these people and do these things and like tell these people these things. And I thought I found it really interesting, but I just did not like the main character. Like, I found his lack of enthusiasm for life and just kind of moving on like to be really irritating. And just like, I know like the plot twist at the end was like, had a lot of people really hyped about, but I don't know, I did not like this. It wasn't enjoyable, and it was just like again with The Martian, like, I just want this to be over, and I found it to be very pointless. Next will have to be A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I really enjoyed the second book following up with this. That was probably one of my favorite books. It was in my favorite books of 2016, but I did not like the first book at all. I found the main character, Farah, to be very weak and naive, and she just kind of let herself be in this abusive relationship and just like all that stuff, and just like, ugh, she really drove me nuts. We kind of got to see kind of her strong character and potential when she was under the mountain, but like up until then it was just like, no. I did like the part where she's under the mountain because I saw the potential in the series, but for like the first like 3/4 of the book it was just like, no. And just like the sex scenes were just really gross, and just like the abusive relationship, it was just like not really good. Next I have Flight of the Sparrow, and this was a book I was actually kind of excited to read about, but it follows a woman who gets captured by Indians, and the way it was written in like 1800 dialect, so it was really kind of hard to understand what was actually going on, and just like all that, and I didn't find any of the characters to be really likable. I know that was probably the case given like the racism that was going on between like the people in America who kind of immigrated there and then the Indians. But yeah, I didn't really like this, and I usually enjoy historical fiction, but this one was not really good at all. And yeah, I found it to be really offensive in some of the stuff it said, but oh well. Next I have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I know this is on a lot of people's least favorite books of 2016. Yeah, I knew J.K. Rowling didn't really write it. It was written by the other authors of the play, and yeah, I'm not used to reading plays, so that was part of the factor, but I felt like none of the characters, like, even though like so many years took place after this, like a lot can happen, but I didn't feel like any of the characters I didn't feel like any of the characters were actually like, they felt off to me. Like, I didn't feel like they were actually like the characters, and just like there's some parts I like, just how like the interaction between Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and just them being old, like I really like that stuff, but I found the plot, because it did mess with the character, like the past story that we love so much, and just time travel and all that. There's so many loopholes, and I just did not like Albus or Severus or Scorpius. Like, I didn't like any of those characters, and it was just, I felt like it was a waste of my time. Next I have Six of Crows, and this was one that I was really excited to go into reading because of all the hype going around it and so many people loved it, but I found the book to be rather boring. Like, there's no point to it. I found like the plot to be just very like I didn't care much for the plot or the characters, because I know it's a very character driven book, but I found that I wasn't really a fan of the characters, or if I wasn't worried about them, and I didn't care about what their mission and all that, which I found very surprising because I did really like the Grisha trilogy, but I was really disappointed about this one. I feel like it could have done so much more than like its thing, and I just didn't care about any of the characters and all that, so yeah, which I found pretty surprising. So lastly, the last book is The Circle, and I was really excited to read this because I know it's going to be turned into a movie in April starring Emma Watson and Tom Hanks, and those are like my two favorite like actors, so I was really excited for it to come out, but I was really disappointed in it. Basically follows a girl named May who ends up getting a job at this really big company. I find it like a mix between like Google and Amazon in terms of like how big it is and all that and the impact, and they are trying to get kind of basically take over the government in a sense, and kind of getting everyone to be transparent and like wear these cameras around their neck, so every part of their life is documented, and like no one like in the government can do anything behind the back, and just like all that. So in a sense, I could see the potential in it, but I found May to be a really weak character. She cared and naive, and she cared more about likes and what her followers thought about her, and just like how many views she's getting, than like how everything like this job and like what she's doing is affecting those who love her the most. So I don't know, I'm really interested to see how they go about doing this, because Emma Watson is playing this character, and she usually plays strong female roles, so I don't know if they're gonna change that a little bit, but I feel like I don't know, I had really high expectations for this, and it just fell flat. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about some of these books, and what were your least favorite books. I'm always curious. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.